Welcome to the Running Network Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport. Today's show is brought to you by Reebok.
Hi, we're here at the Walt Disney World Marathon with none other than Frank Shorter himself, Olympic marathoner, and also you are, I'm not exactly sure the position with the doping agency.
Chairman of the United States Anti-Doping Agency, which is a new independent, totally independent agency that does all drug testing now for performance-enhancing drugs in Olympic sports. Every Olympic sports is now overseen by this agency. We do all the testing, all the adjudication, impose all the penalties, do all the appeals, do all the education of youngsters, and fund all the research. So we do everything with regard to what are illegal in sport, performance-enhancing drugs in the United States, and emphasize that, again, it's totally independent. No conflict of interest, no worry about promoting the same people you're policing, which was really the problem before. You can't be trying to promote the athletes as a federation, for example, and trying to police that same group. You just have a conflict. It's inherent in the system. So we've done away with that, and that's one of the things with which I'm involved now.
Now we're making some progress on that front. We just had a very high-level disqualification from the Pittsburgh Marathon this last year.
Right. In the Pittsburgh Marathon, one of the women in that race was disqualified, lost her prize money, and also in the New York City Marathon, the third-place finisher on the women's side in the New York City Marathon was disqualified. We tested there as well. You'll notice that I don't mention the names because my belief is they're not worth mentioning.
That's interesting. Well, now, Paula Radcliffe has been a very prominent supporter of drug testing. Has she helped the cause?
Well, I think in England, and they have an independent agency in England, I think one of the things that I know she's working for is what we're working for, is to also have these independent agencies have total authority to impose the penalties. At this point in time, the United States is the only country where we as an agency will catch someone and also be the agency that imposes the penalty. In England, for example, if someone is caught having taken a drug and proves positive, that goes back still to their federation, right back in that political turmoil that you have. And so again, yes, I think one of the things she's working for in particular is to have her agency become independent as well.
Well, that would make a big difference.
Kensington barely avoids the yellow card, and Peters with the throw-in. Oh my, here we go again. Yes, we've seen this before, haven't we? Don't think the Queen would look twice at that. There he goes. He's not going to make it with the royal. Oh my!
You just did it, so I had to hit it. Whoa!
What do you see as the next level for cleaning up the Olympic sports, amateur sports?
Well,
all the sports, actually.
Yeah, all the Olympic sports. What I envision is basically a passport. Think of a passport for going into a country. It allows you entry. If you had a passport in our sport, for example, where someone could not enter the Disney Marathon, no matter where they're from, whether they're a Russian woman living in Gainesville or an American living in Boulder, if that person has not been tested for drugs we know the athletes are taking within a certain prescribed period before the event that we know is their window for effectiveness, they cannot enter the race. So no longer can an athlete hide behind perhaps their home federation that doesn't want to catch them really. And so it puts pressure on the athlete to want to be tested rather than for everyone to wait for their particular country or federation to test them. So I think that should be the next level. In other words, a totally international standard, and each country basically has no choice but to enforce that standard.
Is there any chance you'll get that second gold medal?
I think I think over time, yes. I think there's still some people in the International Olympic Committee who would perhaps not want to see it happen, basically because they had very, very close ties to East Germany, and to acknowledge that the East German system was as pernicious and vicious and insidious as it was would be a reflection on them, and they probably would not want that to happen. So we would have to wait until those people were no longer in power in the International Olympic Committee.
What can the average runner do to support the cause?
Oh, I don't know. I think just be supportive. And again, our agency be willing to believe now that there are people who truly do want to see something happen. You mentioned Paula Radcliffe, the athlete. Susie O'Neill is an athlete in Australia, for example. A lot of the athletes with visibility now obviously want to have a level playing field, and all you have to do is to want to support that and just remember the word independent. Whatever aspect of that that's involved, independent and no conflict of interest with the people involved in it, and then you've gone a long way towards achieving the goal. Just support that. In other words, if a politician says, oh, no, the Federation should still have some involvement, you say, but there's a conflict of interest. Follow your common sense. I think that's what people can do to help.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Thank you very much, Frank Shorter, for talking to us today.
Thank you.